back to CJ's garage. We're rolling up to Dave's garage to do some welding on the Mustang and start getting going on this engine bay. And got a load of full tools here. Let's see what this guy's up to. Top of the morning.
Top of the morning, brother.
How's it going? Back to Dave's garage?
Back to Dave's garage, man.
The Dent Jedi himself?
Over here looking at this engine bay and getting mentally prepared.
Yeah, so you got your coffee, getting
coffee,
juiced up.
Sponsored by Beats. Okay.
Yep.
Best.
I brought some tools to drop the K-member down so we can actually get up in there and not have that in the way.
Sounds good, man.
Where do you want to probably put it on the wall over here?
Yeah, wherever we
we'll
could.
Scooch it over.
Wherever we could get it.
Or back in here, probably would be best.
Out the way if we can.
Starting to rust, bro. Even more now.
Yeah, we'll get all that fixed.
Yeah, it's all like just surface rust anyways.
I got some treatment spray for it.
Yep.
Probably grind some of this down, sand some of that.
Yeah.
Trying to figure out how far we're going on this area. But once we drop that, that'll have more access. So
right, all that's going to be gone. So you can hop up in there.
Yeah.
I usually like go underneath or
right.
It's kind of hard to hop up over this. It's sharp, so.
Yeah, no, I'm gonna definitely.
I brought this so we can get this in here. I forgot my drill though, and my drill bits. So I might have to like grind it or I have to go back home and get my drill bits.
Okay.
But this one, it's supposed to look like this, you know, but it got ripped out.
This is gonna be one for the books.
Yep. I was thinking about a name. What should you name this thing?
Man, you going Nardo Gray. It's like, she might need it. I don't know. Crazy.
I was thinking Gray Mare.
Oh, Gray Mare.
Because a Mustang, you know, it's a horse.
Like that.
I mean, it already is kind of gray right now.
Once the engine bay looks complete, you're gonna see this thing take a big transformation.
Oh yeah.
Then after that, the rest is just gonna kind of be a walk in the park.
Right.
This is gonna be the main thing and the hood.
Yep, still gotta get the hood over here.
So swapping the cars out, getting the Camaro to his house, and then getting the Mustang over here. Now that the engine bay is completely ready to go, just dropped everything. Now we got access to the whole engine bay and underneath the suspension. I mean, now it's just up in here. I'm gonna start grinding everything down, try to get as much rust eliminated, and then probably treat it too. Like try to treat all the areas that can't get into the little corners and crevices. Try to get some of that surface rust gone. Sand it, put a layer of bondo. Try to get it nice and smooth. Get the edges. Cover up some of these welds. Block it, reshape it, make it nice smooth, and put that first coat of primer and see where we're at with it. It's gonna be kind of a pain in the neck, but we're gonna try to get some of that in there. At least for the most part what we could reach, and then treat the rest without actually like basically just sealing or cutting and welding again. But it's going good. Block the rest of the car. Fix the panels that we need, put some body work on. There's a couple spots I'm gonna start going around the car, start circling stuff, start getting all the little dings and dents and highway, little highs and lows that I see that I don't like. Start circling them and just block. Pretty much blocking the whole car. I'm not gonna really put a sander on it. Unless there's like waves already in it, I'm gonna start putting some filler and stuff like that. But for the most part, the car is pretty straight. So I think just hand sanding.
Well, it was painted before or recently, not too recently.
Yeah.
It looks like it's already been resprayed before.
It's not too
You
bad.
can tell
The
they
areas
just didn't take the trim off anywhere, so we're doing it right this time.
So the areas where it looks like we could get away with just blocking and sanding, I'm gonna do like a light scuff, but the areas that definitely need some attention, we're not going to bare metal, so we're not doing a complete strip down, because there is some areas that possibly might need that. So I'll see where areas really do need, strip down. But for the most part, I think a nice block and seal it, primer and seal it, and then respray it. The good thing is all the parts are off, so the door jams, everything can get done properly. And Chris was kind enough to take out the whole motor and drop the suspension. So yeah, here we
That
are.
definitely helps.
It does. It does. Like with a clean job, after that, you know what you're spraying, you know what you're painting. I mean, it's pretty much cut and dry now. You know what I mean? Everything needs to be done. But after I'm done spraying the first coat of primer, you're gonna see all your imperfections and flaws. So it's gonna be cool. Yeah, stay tuned.
My freehand safety glasses. But the wire wheel ones, you definitely need safety glasses, bro, because those things go flying.
No, yeah, I was using some over there at the fab shop. I was seeing all that. You gotta have gloves even, cause
Yeah.
pop off.
You'll stick in your teeth, though.
Yeah, it ain't fun.
Oh,
You need a full face. Yeah, you need a full face mask for those.
Yeah.
Knock some of this down.
Is that one of the bigger spots?
Just like when I'm seeing paint chips while you're handling stuff in the front, just kind of knock some stuff down that I'm seeing. I'll probably go back over it, with smooth, of course. But like if I see stuff that I can't really get to with the standard, try to get in there.
They fill the rest of this in with bondo, right?
Yeah, I can do that.
Easy peasy.
Yeah, if you want to kind of like X off the areas where you don't want the bondo, or maybe even just write the places where you're saying go ahead, go forward. If there's like something you want me to cover up, or is it just like a full coat and
It's
just
gonna be a full coat,
on
except these. So
Okay.
I'll mark those. These are where that hood seal that I took off.
Okay. But there's none of these that you actually want me to like actually cover though.
All of this needs to be covered.
But I'm saying like none of
This
this.
not. This
Okay.
not. Like, so I'll circle this, right? So
Okay.
you're gonna be sanding this down. This is where the hood hinges go. So not this either.
Okay. None of that area. Okay.
None.
Yeah, that's what I need to know. Okay, cool.
This one.
Okay.
That whole area.
You still want this one though, okay? You don't want this bondoed? I think this would be a good area to bondo.
There's a gasket that goes over this. You won't see any of this.
Okay. Do you still want it primered though?
Yeah, paint
Okay.
for sure. Primer and paint. Yeah, the whole thing.
Okay.
Everything.
Well, like even the pits though? You don't care about all that?
No, because the gasket goes over that.
Okay.
You're not gonna see that.
Okay.
So none of this stuff needs to be filled. So like all this shit.
Okay.
All this stays open, obviously.
The whole X?
Yeah, everything in here.
Nothing in that
Nothing
area?
gets filled.
Okay.
None of this. This all gets. You won't be able to see any of this.
Okay. Yeah, see, this is key. Thank you. But all of this nice and clean?
Yep.
I mean, really and truthfully,
this.
what about this stamp? None of the, you want this nice and smooth?
Yep.
Okay.
Fill all that in.
All right.
This
What else?
doesn't get bonded. Uses this.
Okay. Okay.
You gotta take those out. None of that stuff does.
None of these?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, but you want this nice and smooth though?
Yeah.
Okay. Maybe I'll coat that with primer so that way we get a nice layer and not like ruining the ridges. We'll do like a brush effect with the primer on the spots that are kind of decent.
Mm-hmm.
And then,
all this stuff's gonna get bonded.
so this whole area is good. This whole top area is good.
Yeah. None of these.
None of those, but how about this?
Yep.
Okay. This guy,
And
this
this
guy.
too.
Okay.
All these little divots.
Okay. But to leave the holes, like, obviously. And then this you want smooth.
Yep. All this has to be filled.
Okay.
Smooth.
Okay. The whole thing.
The whole thing.
Okay, got you. This side too, this side too. What about these guys?
No. That's,
Okay.
That's for the sway bar mounts. So you
Okay.
can get it up in here.
Okay.
All this like that. There's a hole right there.
Okay.
All up in here. Try to get this all smoothed out.
But nothing
Yeah,
from the
here.
bracket.
No.
Okay.
Like maybe get all this, get it in here.
Let me see. Maybe X out from right here. And then,
So none of these.
okay. Yeah, cause that'll crack. Alright, cool. What about all that stuff? None of that stuff down there?
Just paint.
Okay.
Sand it down and paint.
Good primer, that's about it. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Got it. And you see how I was sanding and all that stuff. Now I know just kind of do like a rough job right here. Sanding, try to like grind out as much as we can with the spin wheel. And then I'll just basically treat it with that rust stuff. And then hopefully that'll kind of cut down. So what do you plan on using that for?
So all this,
Okay,
get up in here.
okay. What do you plan on doing with this? The foam seal?
Yeah. Just some expanding foam.
Okay.
Probably. Do you have gloves by chance?
No, this is the last one we could share. Some backstory on Hot Rod Chris. He claims to only know mechanics, but what you guys don't know is he could pretty much do everything, even body work. And as you guys can see, he's actually seam sealing at the moment. So
My first time.
don't underestimate him. He'll weld it, he'll cut it. It's Hot Rod Chris.
I don't like doing body work though. This
He
shit is not
doesn't
my
like it,
forte.
but he can do it. Do not underestimate Hot Rod Chris. And we will be doing a series very soon when we get our shop up and going. And be prepared to see Hot Rod Chris act up. Give Chris another 10, 15 years, you're gonna see a big beard. You're gonna see him have a crazy yard with a bunch of old schools. Oh, they're all rusty, don't worry, we're gonna bring them back. We got some good Bondo too, bro, so. Yeah, I got some of that Echo Gold. Yeah. It was funny because the guy in the paint store, I guess he was like, new or something. But I was like, man, it's a good idea to mix the Bondo first. He's like, yeah, man, mix the Bondo too. But turned out it wasn't a good idea to do. Comes out to cuts like, nah, man, not a good idea at all. He's like, you're gonna have air pockets in your Bondo. I had like a 7-year-old can of Bondo, right? And he's like, just use that can. I'm like, this hella old. And he's like, no, just mix it. I'm like, this ain't even mixable. Like, you need a whole like drill bit with a mixer on this. This is like cement almost at this point.
Cement mixer.
Yeah. I'm like, I wonder if you could just throw it in a shaker or something, because this is bad. You know, I usually use just like fresh materials. So I'm like, asking the dude, like, hey, if you have an old can of bondo that's like almost a brick, like, what could you do to it? He pulls one can off the shelf, right?
Yeah.
It's hella old. I open up the can, it's like pretty much already a brick. And then he's like, oh, that one's not good. Here, try this one. Second can, same thing. I'm like, keep giving me cans that's from, how old is this one? He's like, 5 years old. It's a little bit newer.
A little bit newer.
I'm laughing. I'm like, you can go to the store and go buy a new can. He goes and buys another can. And they must have had it sitting on their shelf for so long. You know, he went with the most cost-effective one. I'm like, this is what happens. But yeah, definitely had a good workout trying to get that mixed. Yeah, and a lot of that will get sanded and clean all that off.
What's this stuff that you're spraying on it?
So this is basically a rust beating agent. So the plan is to the areas that we can't reach and stuff, because I sanded a little bit out, I'm gonna let this stuff kind of do its magic, and it basically like kills a lot of the rust and prevents it from rusting more. It like stops it, the process. Not necessarily like deletes it, but it won't have it rusting more, if that makes sense. It kind of like just nips it in the bud. It just stops it from going to the next stage. I'll let this sit for like a day or two and then go over it again. Like sand and see what's left. And then I'll spray it again on areas I still see. I use this stuff on the fire, but it works pretty good though. It's off too, right? The tailgate? I mean the patch?
Yeah.
Okay, cool. Yeah, that way I can get all this nice and clean, get all the edges on the top, flip this.
You want to take it off right now or wait?
No, we could wait, because that way at least I can close it when I'm doing the rest of the prep.
Yeah.
But when it comes time, I'll tell you, let's get this guy off and then put it on the stands, the horses.
So my buddy was saying to keep the alignment, like on the doors and stuff like that, we can etch it.
Okay.
Like scrape it with a
Definitely.
screwdriver here and then on the hinges right here.
Okay.
So we can like scrape it on each side.
So you
and
know
then
where to
just
put it.
don't fill it in with body filler. You're not even body filler there anyways.
No.
Just keep it a light coat of paint so we can still see that mark.
Right.
And we can put the door right back where they go.
Keep them clean, because yeah, they do line up nice.
Because yeah, they already are in alignment, so going through that whole battle again would suck.
Right.
The same thing happened on each side right here. I had to heat it up and then hit it with a rag,
Mm-hmm.
and it didn't oil can anymore.
You tried to do this already?
No, I didn't notice it.
You didn't notice it?
So when you heat it up with a torch and then you hit it with a wet rag,
Mm-hmm.
that's what I had to do here, and then on the other side. That's too much.
Too much, okay. Use this one. Oh, now have a little.
Something better.
Okay.
Push it up and on my head where it all wants.
Yeah, a lot better. Yeah, see how it's not flexing like that? How you, what you just did with the heat and the water made it perfect.
Yeah.
That's good stuff.
Heats it up and then it shrinks the metal.
Make a coat. We'll get the first coat on there and you see.
Get to the live action, bro.
I know that you're gonna say. Mix it on the metal. But we will get the first coat down on this. Okay, just enough you can work with. I'm not looking for a super fast dry or anything. Probably let this coat sit so it's not a big deal. Focus on this side first. And I should have sanded it a little bit. Alright. Like it never happened.
Smells like success.
Smells like success. Okay. We'll go in there with the fingers. We'll try to get as much as we can. Don't need to really go too heavy because on these parts are pretty nice. You got a big dent right there though. Fill this
Yeah.
up.
It's gonna be like that on both sides.
Okay. Okay, it's a rough coat. Very good filler though. Going on super smooth, I like that. Not runny either.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so I get right here.
Get all those gaps filled in.
Yes sir, try to make sure that we get all the areas we're looking for. And we're gonna go with the old school technique in a second.
section.
Yes, sir. Make sure it's all the way in there. Okay. Also, when I brush on the primer, I could make a thick coat and make all this really just stick perfectly.
Yeah. What's the drying time on this?
I mean, recommended a few hours, but
Yeah.
I like to shape it the first 10 minutes, especially when I'm doing a rough coat, because it's still easier to sand. Everybody has their own methods, but some of the older guys I used to watch, man, they used to get to sanding like at least the first coat right away. Like they'll like
While it's still wet?
not wet, but like barely curing, so I could shape it.
Yeah.
So that way, it's not like you're like sanding like a little bit harder coat. When it's super soft, you can kind of work with it a lot easier, especially because it's not an even coat right now. Once I get it to be like a real even coat, everything gets done one shot. This is just kind of trying to cover up some of these dents.
The rough draft.
The rough, you know what I mean? Try to get rid of like all the excess areas, because that needs to, like any extra bondo that you have, try to like work with it while it's wet, so you have an easier time sanding. Because when you leave it just like chunks like that, you're gonna have to sand that.
No. Be a lot of work, a lot of sanding,
Yeah,
a lot of
like
dust.
better to try to lay your bondo on pretty decent. Make your job a lot easier. And the good thing was I didn't add too much hardener, just enough to keep working with it. And it's actually starting to form, starting to dry up, which is good. But I'll show you like the time where I start sanding. Usually like just before it cures. Let's see some of the areas I don't like.
It's looking better already.
You know what I mean? Like, it's gonna be one of those things where we're gonna have to do a lot more sanding, because when you start talking about hard edges, it's kind of hard. That's why that one squeegee I was trying to use, it would have worked, but try to do it. I know you want straighter lines, so.
Yeah, I mean, that's just how all the other examples I've seen, it's always been just straight.
Straight lines, yeah.
No one's ever had a curved one that I've seen.
Yeah, like when you buy the cheap bondo, bro, this would already dried up so fast. It would have been like a brick already. For real. It would have been cement. Can't really play with it too much. Like, even if you try to like not add so much hardener. You see it's starting to do that, but we had a lot of time to work with that. You know, that was actually really good, how much time it actually let me work with the fillet. Yep, just sand from here. Yeah, wait till it dries a little bit. I like to see where it barely kind of rips off, so I could get some of the excess. And then what I'll do is get the shape. Once I got the shape where I like it, then I'll put the real coat, and then that's when you just gotta wait till it completely dries. But me, I like to work with the bondo if I'm doing like rough coats and I need to reshape it. I like to work with it when it's just a little bit about to be dry. at least to get the shape. It's a lot easier for me. I only do that like with the rough coat though. So I'm gonna get all of this in bondo for today.
Right.
These areas, all of this panel, everywhere I put that rust stuff, I'm not gonna touch that yet.
Leave
I'm
that-
trying to get
that
up
soak
these.
in.
Yeah, I'm trying to get these at least in a rough coat. I mean a rough the first coat.
Mm-hmm.
And then I'll start going in on tomorrow on the back with the coater filler over there. I'll clean off those areas where you put the rust preventative and re-sand it or whatever, and then go in and get some filler on the backside too. Hopefully by the Monday night, I'll have everything filler.
Yeah.
And then next shot, we'll start sanding and blocking. I might have my buddy Daniel come help.
Come help sand.
Block and stuff, yeah. It's all hand sanding.
Put him on blocking duty for the car while you do the engine bay maybe.
Yeah, like I don't really want to put any sanders where we're at.
Right.
This is also a stealth operation, just so everybody knows at home. Hopefully by the time this comes out and we blow up on YouTube, we'll have this official crazy big shop.
Right.
Both of us are working out of shops, but there's nothing that's in the local vicinity, so everything is about 2 hours away or an hour and a half, about an hour away, the closest one. So yeah, this is called a garage build.
David's garage.
Yeah. So, but it's gonna come out good, man. We're gonna finish in a roll spray booth. You know, just kind of getting the simple stuff that makes more sense conveniently. You know what I mean? When we get some time off. I'm working constantly on cars. Chris is working constantly on, you know, at his job. So it's cool that he has the Camaro in his garage and I got the Stang in mine. And when we get some off time off work, you know, to be able to come downstairs in the garage and work on it is pretty cool.
Having it right there at your doorstep.
You know what I mean?
Having to travel somewhere to work on it.
Yeah,
Every time, and then having to go back and forth because I don't have the tools.
You see what I'm
Or
saying?
I forgot something at the house. It's just better just to have it at our own spots.
Yeah, you feel more comfortable. You could, you know, grab a bite to eat if you want to have a beer, whatever you want to do to get your job done. It's, you know, it's right there in your comfort of your house. So to the point where we could get primer on it, then we're probably gonna roll it in to spray booth. But anything that I could do with like some light, you know, primer cans, I'll kind of hit certain spots. But when it comes time to like really put a thick coat of primer on here, get it over to Carl's.
Yeah.
You guys will be meeting Carl soon. Carl.
Give a little tour of his paint booth, bro.
Yeah, so one of our other locations where we spray and we do a lot of work on RVs and stuff with Carl. Gonna be doing a class with him actually, learn some more fiberglass work. You guys get to meet Carl.
Cool old school guy.
Yeah, he's a hot rod guy too.
He's hilarious.
But yeah, Carl's cool, man. I can't wait to see him again, man. It's been a minute. He'll probably get a kick out of this project. You know, he likes all the muscle cars too.